Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs, and welcome to the May the 4th edition of the John Campea Show Mailbag. I'm, of course, your host, Robert Meyer Burnett, and as all of you who watch the John Campea Show know, if you want to send in super chats, we open up those super chats for just a few moments during every live show, but you viewers around the world, 24/7, wherever you are, whenever you are, you can always send us a question via our tip. The link is the tip channel right down now. Just go in the link, click on it, send us any question you want. If we deem it appropriate, I keep waiting for the inappropriate questions, we will read it here on the mailbag. So let's start, shall we? We're just going to jump right into it. Nosferatu. By the way, nice name. It is the 100th anniversary of the original Nosferatu film. Nosferatu sends in a tip and says, Kylo Ren was supposed to do a cookout with his Grandpa Vader, but he had to fry solo. You know what? I wish there was gin in this. It's just water, because that's what you'd get after that. Not so bad there, Nosferatu. But you know what? With that name, good on you. The Great White Northman sends in a tip and says, movie club suggestions. The 40-Year-Old Virgin, I would imagine we would do that because John and I both love that movie. The Lion King, Titanic, Toy Story, and of course, show name suggestion, Bring on the Fandom. That's not bad. I like that, Great White Northman. Well done. Have you seen The Northman? Maybe you have. I don't know. Oh, did I miss that one? Multi-movie Multiverses sends in a tip and says, I'm going to see Everything Everywhere All at Once in the IMAX screen closest to me on Wednesday, and then less than 12 hours later, I'll be going to a 6 a.m. screening of Doctor Strange in the same IMAX theater. Dude, I'm so excited. You have no idea. Bring on the filthy. Well, multi-movie multiverses, I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm not going to a 6 a.m. screening, but I feel you, and I admire you. And, report back. What did you think? And by the way, why not send us in a comparing and contrasting of each multiverse movie? Which one did you like better? Which one presented the multiverse better? Tell us. Michael Kurtz sends in a tip and says, hey, John, people who worked on Doctor Strange have said that there are cameos that no one has even talked about. With the introduction of Professor X, what are the odds we will see or have Dark Phoenix mentioned, another ultra-powerful being? Thanks, and bring on the filthy. Well, Michael Kurtz, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, maybe because Professor X is there, they might explain what the Illuminati is. And if they have some kind of, I don't know, they have that conversation, maybe Professor X would mention Dark Phoenix. Or who's to say Jean Grey herself isn't on the Illuminati? I don't know. Haven't seen yet. I'm deliriously excited to do so. But very interesting question, Mr. Kurtz. Thank you. Are you an Apocalypse Now fan? Because, of course, it's Walter Kurtz that they're trying to find. If you haven't seen Apocalypse Now, you should. Orange Hand sends in a tip and says, greetings, John and/or Rob. Hey, it's me. It's Rob with my Hot Toys. I've decided to make an effort to finish the first draft of my novel by May 9th. Not because I want to rush, but the city will start rebuilding my street for 10 weeks, and loud machinery makes it hard to focus and be creative. Well, Orange Hand, first of all, I admire anybody that writes a novel, much less finishes a novel. John did. John wrote a novel called The Pride. I've always wanted to write a novel, but I'm kind of a schlep rock and I've never got around to it. But I want to write the great American horror novel that's somewhere between Clive Barker and Stephen King. Don't know what that will be, but one day maybe I'll write it. So good on you for finishing it by May 9th. But remember, don't rush. But I understand why. That'll be a bummer for 10 weeks. Yeesh. Daniel sends in a tip and says, hear me out. Well, I'm not going to stop reading your tip, so I'm going to keep going. Hear me out. What if the new Doctor Strange is about them going into the multiverse and Wanda wants to break an absolute point, therefore causing the breaking and inking of reality, which leads them to fight her? Kind of like What If Episode 4. Well, I think what we can glean from the trailers is that she wants her kids back, and in all honesty, it's a continuation of WandaVision. I mean, in another version of the multiverse, I imagine she actually has kids, so she's been dreaming of them. I mean, I will say we've seen the first 20 minutes, so I think you're probably right about that. I think she's going to wreck shop. I think she's going to be an angry mom. And why do you think Marvel's releasing it for Mother's Day weekend? I mean, that was some marketing, let me tell you. I think that's probably a good guess. I got dirt on my boot. As we all know, if you watch this show, John brought up that song. Well done for using it as your name. One of two. Hi, Campea crew. Well, hello. Most Best Picture winners are released in the fall and winter. I went through the winners of the last 30 years. Only 6 are from before September. That's 20%, which makes me think stuff like Everything Everywhere and The Batman are unlikely. You go on to say, to win or even get nominated, unless they have cultural significance. Get Out, Black Panther, they'll be forgotten. I feel like the Academy has a short-term memory and focuses on movies released in awards season. Recent example, A Quiet Place 2 was ignored. Damn it. How could the Academy ignore A Quiet Place Part 2? You know, I've been asked about this a lot. In my mind, a Best Picture winner, it kind of has to encompass the great universal truths of humanity. And genre films don't usually fare well. It was great to see horror films like Silence of the Lambs win, and it was great to see Return of the King win. But of course, if you were alive in 1977, as I was, because I'm old AF, you would have seen Star Wars get defeated by Woody Allen's Annie Hall. Now, I love Woody Allen's Annie Hall, but come on. I mean, there's an Obi-Wan series coming out in less than 3 weeks. There's no Annie Hall series. What should have won? And Star Wars came out in May. So, I don't know when Annie Hall came out. Anyway, that's what award season ad campaigns are for, to remind audience members, Academy members, what came out earlier. But you're right. That's very fascinating. I did not know that. Chloe Fanning says some movies not only inspire, but they can also innovate. For example, when they filmed the movie Days of Thunder, their use of camera placing on the film's cars, NASCAR started using the same idea for placing cameras on their race cars some years later. I did not know that. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the Air Force is going to, the Navy is going to start sticking cameras on their F-18s just when they go out when they fly any sortie, just to train. I think that the Navy, after watching Top Gun Maverick, which I've seen, I think the Navy should have just a live channel where they have cameras on every one of their planes, no matter where they're going, just to let us toggle between cameras on those planes, because damn, wait till you see the flying footage from Top Gun Maverick. But that's interesting. And yes, James Cameron has been doing the R&D, the research and development for the film industry since The Abyss. I mean, the pseudopod sequence, the water worm, was really the basis of how he was able to do the T-1000 in Terminator 2. So there you go. But you're right, Chloe. Timothy says, hey, friends, I just wanted to say I love Movie Club. I love Movie Club, too. It's great. If I do say so myself, especially the Aliens and the Lord of the Rings episodes. Do you think you guys will ever do any XMen films in the future? X2, Days of Future Past, Logan. I hope at some point y'all will also talk about Parasite. I don't think you're talking about the Parasite 3D movie that came out in 1983. I think you're talking about the Bong Joon-ho Parasite that won the Best Picture. Although, it'd be pretty cool if you were talking about the first Parasite. I think both John and I have waxed rhapsodic about Logan, and Days of Future Past and X2 are all great choices. I hope we kind of stay away from comic book stuff for a while, because I think we need to do a comedy. I think maybe 40-year-old version, something like that. I don't know. But those are all good choices. So thanks for writing in. Franklin Donahue says, crazy that a lot of Egyptian mythology has never been put into many films or shows. Come on, you haven't seen Gods of Egypt? I know, it took place on an alien planet, not really on Egypt, but everyone hates that movie except me. So anytime you want to talk about Egyptian mythology, I bring it up, even though I really shouldn't, because it's not really in Egypt. But anyway, crazy that a lot of Egyptian mythology has never been put into many films or shows. I have been researching and discovered the big connection between Egyptian mythology and the origins of Wakanda. Will we see Moon Knight and Black Panther meet in the MCU? I could definitely see that happening, Franklin. I think that'd be very cool. Obviously, Egypt and Wakanda are both on the African continent, so I'm sure there's some connection. I mean, I'm a big fan of Egyptian history, and that's one of the things. I mean, I did like that about Moon Knight, and I love the Egyptian gods, and we've seen like Lady Bast and things like that in Wakandan mythology. So, Franklin, I think that I could definitely see Black Panther and Moon Knight collaborating, some kind of a collab at some point. I think you're right about that. It'd be cool. Dante Sorecchia says, hi. I know it's getting annoying, but here are the best show names for you within the criteria. The Showbiz Approach and or Method. The Showbiz Method, that's kind of cool. The Spotlight Sequence and or Spectrum. Shills for Showbiz. I like Shills for Showbiz as a name, but that's only if everyone who we talk about pays us. Because if we weren't getting paid, we wouldn't really be shills. But I like that. That's funny. Tinseltown Topics, Hollywood Highlights. I hope this helps. Well, Dante, we will take those under advisement, and we will always bring on the filthy. I mean, at least I can speak for myself. I try and always bring on the filthy. I don't know if I can see this name, fact checker Jonathan. I might have to slide it down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. Hello from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I think it's Tennessee, right? Thank you for all that you do, as the John Campea Show has become a daily reprieve for me. What are your thoughts on how Moon Knight will be incorporated into the MCU? Love the show, but as a character, it would seem challenging. Well, for me, I'm a little confused, Muffin Man, because Moon Knight's flying around. He's got the power of Khonshu, and the Moon Knight that I fell in love with was not that character, and he seems pretty powerful now. I mean, I think though that they will integrate him somehow in the comics. Of course, it's Moon Knight who puts Mjolnir back together, Thor's destroyed hammer. Will that happen in Love and Thunder? Don't know, but Muffin Man, it might, and that would be pretty badass. Luke1234 sends in a tip and says, can the Xenomorphs in Aliens be considered villains? Unlike humans who choose the path of evil, they are animals doing what is needed for species survival. Like a force of nature, they are neither good nor evil. They just simply are what they are. Luke, that is a very astute observation, and I'm with you. I would call them antagonists, but you can't call them evil. I mean, heck, Xenomorphs got to eat, right? I mean, and reproduce. They're not bad people. They just do what they have to do. And yeah, I think you're right. They are a force of nature, literally a force of nature, unless you really want to believe that they were created or engineered by a paranoid android from Earth, which I choose to reject. Watching Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I don't buy that. It takes away the cosmic mystery of the aliens. We should never have found out where they were from. They're Lovecraftian. They just come from somewhere beyond our understanding, and there's nothing we can do about them. And now they've been completely demystified, and it's made my life a really kind of dark place to live in because they're not as cool as they used to be. Franklin Donahue comes back and says, my show name idea is Movies, A New Scope. All right, Franklin. I'll take that. I'll take that under advisement. A New Scope. That's pretty funny. I see what you did there. Movies episode 4, A New Scope. The sock. The sock. What are you doing with that sock? Why are you just the sock? The sock sends in a tip and says, one of two. Okay, my biggest problem with Batman's I can't kill, I couldn't stop thing, and by that I mean killing with intent, not in self-defense, is that the dude is literally the embodiment of willpower and discipline. And you mean to tell me that he couldn't kill Joker or simply stop? There are real-life parents who have killed or beaten the shit out of people who abuse their children and didn't make it a pattern afterwards. Well, but Batman's a fictional character, and we want him to embody certain, qualities that we perhaps don't have. I am not one of the people that subscribe to the idea that Batman doesn't kill. He's in an environment where people are using deadly force against him all the time. And I would think most of the time he's going to have to use deadly force back, or he's going to have one bad afternoon. But that's probably evening, because Batman doesn't go out in the afternoon. Or maybe he does, but it's usually to a party and he says Bruce Wayne. But I think that, he's going to kill. Batman's going to kill. People are going to die. He doesn't mean to. We would like to believe. I don't think he means to kill. He wants to deliver criminals to justice. But, sometimes there's people that need killing, or you kill them in the course of them trying to kill you. So, interesting. So, June says, I think it's May though, right? Anyway, June says, hi, going to see Doctor Strange 2, first movie since the pandemic. Have a choice between Dolby Cinema or IMAX. I know you answered this 1,000 times, but which do you recommend? Thank you, and congrats on the new studio. First of all, June, thanks for congrats on the new studio. Look at this. Look at how good I look. God damn. I want to carry this lighting around with me wherever I go. I mean, it's amazing. So here's the thing. Doctor Strange is in 3D. And if you see it in 3D, I would go see it in laser IMAX, because 3D, I've never seen 3D look better than it looks in laser IMAX. However, I have not seen 3D in the Dolby Cinema. If you don't go see it in 3D, because the movie, I don't know if there's any IMAX scenes. Maybe there was, but I haven't seen anybody say it has been. I think with the kind of bright, popping visuals, I'd go see it in a Dolby Cinema. I've already seen 20 minutes of it in Dolby Vision in high dynamic range, and I think Rayora over there would agree that seeing it in Dolby or doubly is a great way to go. So check that out, June. I hope your June is good. Benny S. sends in a tip, 1 of 2. So, while the marketing for Candyman 2021 was being put out, I hated the look of it, as I'm not a fan of changing the backstory of a classic. But as it's dropped on Amazon, I decided, fuck it. Why the hell didn't they market it as a sequel? I don't know. I don't know. I had so much fun with this film, and although it's far from a perfect horror flick, I would have 100% give it more time of day had I known its connection to the original. The cameo from Tony Todd was the icing on the cake. I hope there's another. Well, Benny S., let me tell you, I think they should have leaned more heavily into that connection as well. I'll tell you something. I'm going to be honest. I didn't see Candyman in the theater, but I bought the Blu-ray. Actually, I bought the 4K disc, and I watched it. And like you, I was like, huh, because I love Bernard Rose's original Candyman. And I'm like, and I even like Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. I didn't see the third one. But I thought the new Candyman was definitely a respectable continuation of the story. But that's what's great about streaming. You catch up with stuff later and you're like, huh, this is pretty damn good. But yeah, so thank you for writing in. Big Will says, hi, John and crew. That's me, the crew. Or Jonathan Voico is the crew now. Not, I'm just part of the crew. Call me what you will, Big Will. Hi, John and crew. I told you on 1/9/22 the Rams were going to win the Super Bowl. Yes, I'm still celebrating. So it got me thinking, Any Given Sunday is a great topic for Movie Club. We fight for every inch. I love Any Given Sunday. Would you be surprised to know that I have that on Blu-ray? Because I do. It has an awesome cast, performances, and the greatest sports speech ever. Big Will, you are right about that. I mean, anytime Al Pacino gives a speech, I don't know if I like it as much as his speech when he plays the devil in Devil's Advocate, but it is one hell of an Al Pacino speech. We do fight for every inch. It's great. I love the movie. It's over the top and histrionic and over dramatic and kind of silly, but it's also fucking awesome. It's awesome. So thanks for writing in. Devin says, John Robb, how about just Rob? I wish you a genuine congratulations on the first official day at the new studio. Much love. I finally saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. In my opinion, respectfully, it isn't my favorite film this year so far, but I definitely put it in my top 10. Well, that's good. Doctor Strange on Friday. Woo! Well, Devin, first of all, thanks for the congratulations on the new studio. As you can see, I mean, I got my hot toys. I got my good lighting. I got Ray brought in a microwave this morning. So, I mean, it's a pretty great place. Mr. Campea has done what he always does. He makes the viewing experience for you better. Because, damn, don't I look better than I look, in my last mailbag? I sound better, too, don't I? That's what John does. That's what we're doing here at this new studio. Thanks for the support, Devin. I appreciate it. Noda G.I. Joe sends in a tip and says, this show has quickly become my favorite YouTube channel. A show is a channel? I see what you did there. I know. I understand. This show has quickly become my favorite YouTube channel. You guys are probably tired of show names by now. Honestly, we are. We really are. But I understand what that means. But what about your show name idea? But what about Clickertainment Show? I'm sorry, Noted G.I. Joe. Clickertainment, can't go with that one. Or Watch and Listen. That's what I tell my girlfriend. Maybe Multimedia Rundown. That's not bad. Keep up the great work, crew. Well noted, G.I. Joe. First of all, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. And the show ideas. I mean, one day we should just take all the show ideas we've got, all 787,000 of them, and put them in a hat and just pick one. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do that, but I appreciate you contributing and spending time at all thinking about this YouTube channel in your off hours, and that's very much appreciated. Michael Park says, hey, John, just wondering if you've watched Pachinko on Apple Plus or if you have plans to watch it. By the way, it just got renewed. Honestly, it's one of the best new television shows I've seen for a while. Michael Park, I have not seen it yet. I don't think John has, but it's on my list. Everyone's told me how great it is. You're the latest in a long line of people that think it's awesome. It's called Pachinko, so I'd assume it's Japanese, but it's like a Korean Japanese thing. And look, I'll watch anything from Asia. And this sounds great. It got renewed. It's not going to be one and done. And to hear you say that, Michael, very exciting. I'll check it out. I'm going to check it out. Nathan sends in a tip and says, love the show, and I wanted to send some support. Name suggestions for the love of the show, the Cutting Room Chronicles, 3, 2, 1, action. You know what? Those aren't bad. I don't know if they're right for our show, but somebody should use those names for their show because they're pretty damn good. So, Nathan, thank you for that submission. Very nice of you. Dr. J with the $50 tip. I wish I could just pocket tips for myself because that's a couple of double Jamesons right there. Dr. J says, hi guys, I loved every minute of the CinemaCon coverage. Well, once I first crawled out from behind the couch, it got better, right? Anyway, okay.
Today's episode of Movie Club is sponsored by Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Guys, more and more we enjoy shopping online, whether it's on our phones or our computers. And how many times have you gotten to the checkout and seen that promo code box and thought, man, if I only had a promo code, I could save some money? Well, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. So here's the situation. You're shopping online on one of your favorite sites, and when you go to checkout, the Honey button appears, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Then just wait a few seconds as Honey works its magic and searches for coupons it can find for that site that you're on, and if Honey finds a working coupon, just watch the price drop. Recently, Ann and I were hanging out at home one evening and we decided to order in, and the Honey button appeared. I was able to apply a coupon and I actually saved like $6 or $7. It was that easy to use. And Honey doesn't just work on your desktop computer, it also works on your iPhone. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. So if you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/movie club. That's joinhoney.com/movie club.
I loved every minute of the CinemaCon coverage and Team Campea's assault on Vegas. You know what? I want that movie poster. Team Campea. It's the third or fourth movie in the series about Team Campea? So Team Campea, assault on Vegas. Somebody make that poster. Reminded me of the X-Force parachute scene from Deadpool 2. Yeah, but fortunately, nobody died from an errant spoiler or dirty burger. Good luck in your new studio. Bring on the filthy. I think if we're being reminding you of the Deadpool 2 scene where they all die, we're doing something wrong. But I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate it a lot. I'm glad you watched the coverage. I mean, John John makes sure we get to go to Vegas, and kudos to him. But what a blast that was. And there's nothing like sitting next to Aaron Cummings during a horror film, as John has described to you. And of course, I got to bunk in with Ray Ora, and I found out some secret things about Ray. Wait till you hear. I'm going to do a whole secret YouTube channel just about the secrets of Ray. Not here though. I'm not going to reveal them here on this mailbag. Papa Roundtree sends in a tip and says, show name, Pop Cult Cast. I don't know if that sums it up, because we don't just talk about cult movies. But Papa Roundtree, first of all, I appreciate you again thinking about the show, thinking about a show name, and especially that you're paying us to tell us what that name is. I mean, what a scam. I think we're running a scam here. It's like a great Kickstarter or something. Not that Kickstarters are scams, because they're not. Only some of them are. Jason D sends in a tip and says, hey, crew, I'm just chiming in to say thank you for being my daily source of entertainment during the work week. Jason D, thank you. It's very nice of you to say. The amount of hard work you all put in by giving us movie fans high-quality content is much appreciated. The show name suggestion, The Morning Matinee. You know what? That's not a bad... I like that. Again, I don't know if it's right for this show, but it's a good name. I mean, The Morning Matinee, it seems to me that would be like a retrospective show of movies from a while ago that you would have seen at a matinee or something. I like the name. I don't know if it's right for us, because how could we rip on Bob Chapek with a name like that? I would feel bad. Anonymous sends in a tip and says, I went to AMC theaters this weekend, and while the showtime was 7:30, the movie didn't start till 8:03. 33 minutes of trailers and AMC commercials with 2 different Top Gun trailers. Well, to be fair, it is a good movie. I wanted to yell at the screen. Something must be done to stop the madness. Well, Anonymous, you didn't say anything about Nicole Kidman, which, come on, that would have put you over the top. But I want to thank you for writing in and telling us about your experience. Yeah, I think it's unacceptable. 33 minutes of trailers and commercials. You know what I could do in 33 minutes? I mean, some of it I can't say here, but 33 minutes, that's a long time. That's like your life. You can't get that back. Brandon sends in a tip and says, read about Olivia Wilde getting served on stage. We were there. We watched it happen. And I have to say, she was like a pro. She was a champ. She pulled out the thing. She said she thought it might be a script. She opens it up. She goes, oh, yeah, I know what this is. And she puts it back. And without breaking a sweat or missing a beat, she went right back into her presentation for Don't Worry, Darling, one of, I thought, the highlights of CinemaCon that she directed. What was that like to watch live? Reading about it was really interesting. Well, I have to say, it was, when we were there, you don't know if it's a bit or if she's going to make some announcement about, I don't know, somebody from Dolby getting an award or something. You don't know. So at the time, we didn't know anything was weird about it. It was just like somebody hands her something. She's a director. Who knew? Maybe she had to be somewhere. Maybe she won a lot of money at the craps table the night before. I don't know. So at the time, I didn't realize anything was off until I read the article the next day. And I'm like, wow. And that's when I marveled at the fact that she was a cool cucumber under fire. Or a cool customer. Cucumber, I don't know, cool customer. She was very impressive, and she's a very learned, intelligent woman, and she was impressive all the way around, so kudos to her. Michael Jones sends in a $20 tip and says, saw 9 movies in the month of April. I was like, at first I read that, Saw 9. I'm like, is there a Saw 9? Saw 9 movies in the month of April. Thank you, A-List. All right, isn't AMC A-List the best? I hope this continues. Well, that depends on you. You have to go to see 9 movies in May and 9 movies in June and 9 movies in July. We'll see. I hope this continues. It's been a while since we had a month with multiple weekends that had multiple movies coming out that I wanted to see. Thanks for all that you people do. Well, Michael Jones, now you can go see Doctor Strange multiple times, and if you can't get up to 9 in May, you just have to go see Doctor Strange again. But yeah, it's great to have. April was a great month for film, and to have like Everything Everywhere, The Northman in theaters, it was terrific. Original movies, and they're making money, and people are going to see them. Not just sequels, not just unoriginal rehashes. Good stuff. I'm glad you got to see 9 movies, and you're also getting your money's worth with that AMC A-List, so that's good too. John Morgan sends in a tip, one of two. So he sent in 2 tips. Hey guys, daily viewer, though I don't often write in. I had the strangest dream last night and I wanted to share. I was seeing Doctor Strange and it turns out we did see Tom Cruise in it, but as a Doctor Strange variant, not Tony Stark. He was a very comic booky Strange, and of course the audience was very confused. Anyhow, strange dream. Ha, I see what you did there. Seeing the movie for real on Thursday. Thanks for all the work you guys do. Well, John Morgan, first of all, thanks for writing in. Thanks for the tip. And, I wish people would send me more about what they dream about, because I'm sure the show would get really interesting. Not that it isn't already, but, I have comic book dreams too. And when I wake up, I feel like I've wasted an evening because I should have some erotic thriller dream about meeting Sharon Stone back in 1992 when she made Basic Instinct. I never did, but that's the kind of dream I want to have. But unfortunately, like you, I always have dreams about somebody else playing a comic character that I like. What can you do? But I'm glad you had those dreams, and I'm glad you are seeing Doctor Strange this week, as we are tomorrow in less than 24 hours. Kevin Komaki sends in a tip and says, I am hyped to see this new studio. Well, Kevin, behold. Come on. When was the last time I got to bring Hot Toys front and center? By the way, I'm not shilling for Hot Toys. I had to pay them for these exorbitant amounts of money. But there you go. And I'm glad you like the new studio. I love the new studio. I love the new digs. Not only did it come, it didn't come with anything. We had to put everything in here. But we have a new producer over in Fact Checker Jonathan. He's producing the show right now. Every time you see these questions slide, that is Jonathan behind the curtain, making sure that this show is as awesome as it is. And Rayora is just laughing at me. So it's kind of fun. It's a whole different experience doing Mailbag. I hope you feel my energy, because I feel I have an audience now, so I have to play to them as well as to you. So thanks. Philip Janik, spelled F-I-L-I-P. Philip Janik. What a great name. That's like the villain. That's like the second henchman of a Eurotrash group of terrorists that want to blow up a nuclear plant. Philip Janik. Is that a character name or is that your real name? If it's your real name, kudos to you and kudos to your parents. Philip Janik sends in a tip and says, hey, John and crew, one of my most anticipated movies is Anya Taylor-Joy's Furiosa prequel movie, but the movie got delayed from June 2023 to May 2024. What are your thoughts, and do you think we could expect more entries in the franchise after Furiosa? Philip Janik, that is a great question. First of all, the great George Miller, who originated the Mad Max franchise back in the 70s with the first Mad Max, is back directing Furiosa, playing a younger Charlize Theron. Look, Fury Road literally took by the way, Fury Road took over 20 years to get made. There is a great book, and I don't remember the name of it, but it came out in the last 2 months on the making of Fury Road. You got to get that book. But look at it this way. It's going to take a lot less time to make Furiosa than it did to make Fury Road, which is where we met Furiosa for the first time. So it bums me out, but with the crazy stunts they're probably putting in the movie, I'm sure it's better than Fast 9, and now it's probably going to be better than Fast 10, or basically all the Fast and Furious movies combined. So I'm really excited. Definitely one of the highlights then of the year for me, well, whatever year it comes out, and I can't wait to see it. Funky Buddha sends in a tip and says, hey, filthy crew. Well, hello. I just wanted to say how happy and proud I am for you guys and gals with your success. Also, how about Everything Everywhere All at Once with the legs at the box office? If you still haven't seen it, go see it. Well, what Funky Buddha is referring to is that Everything Everywhere All at Once has not dropped over the last 2 weekends at the box office, which is almost unprecedented. It keeps adding money, word of mouth. People love the movie. I honestly, I haven't heard people wax rhapsodic about a film like this in a long time. And people aren't just going once, they're going twice or 3 times. I think our friend Connie Sang has seen it 5 times already. Oh my God, crazy, right? But I'm glad it's holding on. I like to see that happen with indie movies. It's great for the business. It's great for everybody involved. And so kudos to that crew. Very, very cool. So Funky Buddha, thanks for writing in about that. And what a cool name. Somebody should make a rap album called Funky Buddha. I don't know what they'd rap about, but it sounds good to me. Sadhu says, regarding the leaks John and Rob have seen, not asking what you were shown, But what projects do you think they're from? Sadu. I'll never tell. I can't. You know, I've already gotten in trouble for leaks. I can't. You know, the only leaks I want to have are. I'm not going to make that joke. So, Sadu, no leaks from me. Not until I'm like 80. Just gonna say that. But yeah, I can't tell you. I can't. There's one in particular. It would be obvious, and it would kind of bum you out if I told you. It'd bum me out if I told you because I get in trouble. Somebody would see this and be like, you're cut off. Jeans Gray, I see what you did there, sends in a tip and says, hello, gang. Can any of you see Zac Efron playing Johnny Storm? Sure. I think he'd be great if the script called for it. Thanks. Well, Jeans Gray, is it wrong for me to be a middle-aged straight guy saying I like Zac Efron? I mean, I think he looks good. He's usually funny. I like him as a performer. I could see him being Johnny Storm. Sure. Why not? I'm down with that. Chuck the Mystery. Chuck, what is your mystery? Every time you write in, I wonder, what is the mystery of Chuck? Don't know. Chuck the Mystery sends in a tip and says, hey, John and Rob, I've been continuing my Paul Newman binge. Ooh. And I was wondering if you've seen Harper and its sequel, The Drowning Pool. Yes. And those are great classics. Great classics. Not The Verdict or Cool Hand Luke. No, they're not. But great. Also, are there any Newman recommendations? Well, HUD, right? You got to see HUD. And also, you know, he was in a movie in the 80s I liked with Sally Field called Absence of Malice about the newspaper business. I would check that out. So Chuck the Mystery, check it out. And Chuck the Mystery is back with all the talk of Batgirl possibly going theatrical, along with concerns of whether it would release before or after The Flash. Well, I'd be remiss to say that if Chris Carr were here, she would say The Flash isn't real, so what does it matter? Do you think there's any chance we will see it this year, or is 2023 a foregone conclusion for Batgirl at this point? Chuck the Mystery, I think it's going to be 2023 because, you know, these movies take a long time in post, and we're getting both Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Black Adam this year. So I think they'll push Batgirl into 2023, even if it's ready. Or, you know, if they need to drive subscriptions at the end of the year, maybe they'll give us a Christmas present and show us Batgirl. I hope so. Chuck the Mystery is back again. Thank you, Chuck, for supporting the channel in this way. Chuck says, one more thing to mention. While the first 3 episodes of The Offer weren't as good as I'd hoped they'd be, boy, they really aren't. Miles Teller, Juno Temple, and Giovanni Ribisi are great. That is true. The acting is great. Not sure how they're going to get 10 episodes out of this when each one is over an hour. You know, I have to tell you, The Godfather being one of my favorite movies of all time, I really had high hopes for this. I've read so much about the making of The Godfather. It seems very lightweight. I think you didn't mention Matthew Good as Robert Evans, he's great. He played Ozymandias in the Watchmen movie. Really good. I wanted it to be good. It just seems a little too fluffy and too lightweight, Chuck. But maybe it'll get better, maybe. But I mean, it's a good effort. I think the acting, though, across the board is great. I love Juno Temple. She seems to have never aged in 20 years. I love her. And she's like British in real life. The Wakandan Forever. The Wakandan Forever sends in a tip and says, hey, John, I am in the process of starting my teacher residency and graduate work. Congratulations. And May 3rd is National Teacher Day. I love Professor X. Who is your favorite teacher mentor from Marvel or DC? P.S. The new studio looks great. Love you guys. Wakanda Forever. Who is my favorite teacher? That is a good question. Teacher from Marvel or DC? Teacher. Mentor. You know, I remember when Magneto took over the X-Men. I thought that was kind of cool. I enjoyed it. But my favorite, you know, I'm kind of drawing a blank on teachers. But I would say Magneto. I'm gonna throw out Magneto to your Professor X. How about that? Because I like that. And then I think in X-Men 200, there was the trial of Magneto. Like he got arrested, put in shackles. I love that. And Magneto was leading the New Mutants for a while too. Alan Renshaw. Hello, Alan. I want to make a bet with me personally, or Ray, or Jonathan, maybe John, Chris, Aaron. I want to make a bet with you. I'll just assume me since I'm reading this question, so you can make the bet with me. If Ryan Reynolds or Deadpool is not in Doctor Strange 2 in any capacity, including a post-credit scene, then I will give you a $50 super chat. All right, I'll take that bet. If Reynolds and or Deadpool are in the movie or post-credit scene, etc., then you have to either eat eggs with ketchup and barbecue sauce or live rewatch Thunder Force, cover the Kids' Choice Awards on your show, and wear a pink tutu on your show for a week. You know what? I'll take that bet. I'll eat eggs and ketchup and barbecue sauce. That bet is on me now, so I'm taking that bet because I'm here. You forced me into it. But remember, if you lose, I want that cheddar. Just saying. Send it to this channel. I want that $50. I got my eye on you, pal. Jay, and by the way, I'll know tomorrow afternoon. I'll be like, you owe me 50. J.R. Wheeler sends in a tip and says, hi, guys. My favorite new series is The Offer. Uh-oh, I feel bad that I said it wasn't as great as I hoped it would be. Well, actually, I didn't. A viewer did down there. But I said it. I agreed. But I'm glad you're digging it. I've always loved The Godfather, and this series really details the history of how it was made. Kudos to all the actors in recreating famous Hollywood producers and actors. I see many Emmys in its future. Well, J.R. Wheeler, I agree with you. I think the acting is pretty impeccable. I mean, across the board, they did a wonderful job casting the show. I just feel it's a little bit lightweight, but I'm still enjoying it. It's still about The Godfather, so I'm watching it and having a good time. So hey, why not? But I could definitely see some Emmy awards there. Marie Seifring sends in a tip and says, great new setup. I just wanted to say I really hope a cute little hippo is still part of the MCU after episode 6 of Moon Knight. I think she will be. Antonia Salib does amazing voice and motion capture for Toweret. I think it's Toweret, right? Toweret. First of all, I love that character. I love the way it was performed. I love the way she sounded. So yes, Marie, you are correct. I mean, obviously now that she has an avatar, I want to see them team up. The Moon Knight show with Toweret's avatar. Why not? I think it'd be great. And I'd like to see more of her. She did a great job. Sam Fisher sends in a tip and says, saw Everything Everywhere All at Once and The Northman this weekend. Everything Everywhere All at Once. The perfect mix of heartfelt and what the fuck? Northman, a movie that is literally a revenge fantasy. Well, Sam, what a great weekend to me. I mean, what more do you want from a double bill? I'm glad you got to see those. And Sam, I'm glad you had a good time. What a great double feature. The Love of Throg, my friend Throg. How you doing, Throg? How are you? Throg, by the way, and this is not a lie. During the pandemic, the early days of the pandemic, Throg made sure he sent me boxes of toilet paper from the East Coast. No bullshit. He really did. Thank you, Throg. And they just showed up, and our whole household was able to stay fresh when some people couldn't. It was great. So thank you, Throg. The Love of Throg says, booyah, things look great. I wish you all continued success. Watch Rob, John. He's only a DeLorean and cocaine-filled trash bag away from a flux capacitor, stolen Libyan plutonium, and a high-speed chase down the 101 to the Twin Pines Mall. Wait, I see what you're saying. Let me get that. Wait, let me read that again. Watch Rob, John. You're saying that I'm a cocaine-fueled DeLorean with a flux capacitor that John has to watch me? Well, why'd you have to rat me out? I mean, no one knows that I'm a coke-fueled DeLorean with a flux capacitor going down the 101 to the Twin Pines Mall. Why'd you have to out me that way? I thought we were buddies. I mean, you made sure my ass was clean for months on end, and you have to do this live on the John Campea Show. Throg, I'm going to have words with thee. Let's see. Sam Fisher. Oh, Sam Fisher again. Did you catch the Temple of Doom reference in Everything Everywhere All at Once when Waymond winks at Everlyn and whispers, "I'll be okay," just like Indy says to Shorty after Shorty burns him and breaks the brainwashing? That's very funny. I didn't catch that, Sam. That's a very astute thing to notice. I'm going to go back and see that again. So, by the way, John won't care, but Everything Everywhere All at Once has already been announced for 4K, and I have pre-ordered it, just so you know. Kevin Malone Kleenex Shoe says, Wonder Twin powers, deactivate. Well, Kevin Malone Kleenex Shoe, cheeky. I like that. Very funny, short, simple, to the point, but effective nonetheless. Thank you for that. That put a smile on my face. Rob's Blu-ray collection sends in a tip. My own Blu-ray collection is tipping the show that I'm on. That's how great my physical media collection is. My Multiverse of Madness theory is that Wanda is wrecking everyone, then a portal opens and it's Antonio Banderas shirtless. Now it's sexy versus chaos magic. Not even Wanda can stop that. You know what? Since I'm talking to my own Blu-ray collection, what kind of mashup is this? Were you watching my Zorro disc or something? Like, what is that? Which Antonio Banderas movie? Were you watching maybe El Mariachi or Desperado? You know, come on. You should be watching something a little bit more highbrow. But it's okay if that's what you're watching. I mean, if that's what happens when I'm around, not around. But thank you, Rob's Blu-ray collection. Thanks for that tip. I appreciate it. And guess what? That brings me to the end of this special May the 4th be with you episode of the John Campea Show Mailbag. Once again, I want to thank all of our viewers for generously supporting this show and everything we do via these tips. I love getting these questions. They're very funny. And I want to thank, of course, fact checker Jonathan Voico for producing this show. I want to thank Ray Ora for the laughs because I feel like I'm doing a stand-up routine for the very first time. I was a little nervous, but apparently, I hope you guys liked it. We got great stuff. Moon Knight ends this week. We've got Multiverse of Madness starting. We had the Obi-Wan trailer drop for today. May the 4th be with you. And of course, as you know, if you want to get a question, a comment, please, for the love of all things holy, do not send in any more show suggestions. John said he's going to hold off on changing the name of the show. If you're going to send us tips, I want to hear the scintillating things you have to say that have nothing to do with renaming this show. I don't care what you can talk to me about your grocery list. Just don't send me any more show names. I appreciate it. And if you do want to send us a tip, there is a link right down below in the description. It is open anytime, 24/7, 7 days a week, I guess forever. And you can tip this show. And if we deem your question appropriate, we will read it on this channel on these mailbags. And if it's inappropriate, I do a special late night show that no one knows about. Watch that. Thanks very much. My name is Robert Meyer Burnett. You can find me every day on the John Campea Show, or you can find me on Instagram, which John Campea can't because he's never followed me on Instagram, at RM Burnett, or you find me on Twitter at BurnettRM, or find me on my own YouTube channel and on TikTok at the Post Geek Singularity. Heck, I'm blowing up on TikTok. I don't know why, but there you go. I don't even want to be on TikTok. And as always, remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. All you have to do is listen. Thanks, everybody.